Hi everyone. I'm Jonathan's Media Shack here once again. And today, I'm going to do a review, / rant, on Van Helsing, that came out in the year of 2004. So, anyways, enjoy. So basically what the plot for this movie is, a famed monster slayer named Gabriel Van Helsing, who's played by Hugh Jackman, is dispatched to Transylvania to assist the last of the Valerius bloodline in defeating Count Dracula, who's played by Richard Roxburgh. Anna Valerius, who's played by Kate Beckinsale, reveals that Dracula has formed into an unholy alliance with Dr. Frankenstein's monster, who's played by Schuler Hensley, and is hell-bent on exacting a centuries-old curse on her family. Together, Anna and Van Helsing set out to destroy their common enemy, but uncover some unsettling secrets along the way, and that's it. That's basically what the plot for this movie is all about. Now, what do I think about this movie? Holy shit, this movie was so fucking atrocious. I'll tell you the reasons why. 1. I find the plot for this movie to be absolutely cliché, and poorly done. I mean, yes, I get it, it's supposed to be based on Dracula, but the way that they've done it, I think was really sloppy, and it felt like that it was unfinished. Plus, it is very cheesy, and confusing, bizarre, and effortless all at the same time. 2. The action scenes for this movie is very mediocre at best. And there was nothing to it throughout the entire movie, because most of them was just jack shit. There was nothing cool about the action scenes whatsoever. 3. The music in this movie is very mundane, and cringe-worthy at times. 4. The cinematography for this movie is very god-awful. I mean, this has got to be one of the worst cinematography I had ever seen in a gothic horror film. I mean, really, what the fuck is this shit? Words can't even describe of how abysmal this is, because A, it was very corny and uncreative, or B, they didn't care of how the cinematography looked, and they wanted it to make it really shitty instead. Wow, talk about beyond effortless right there. 5. The characters in this movie were unlikable in this movie. And none of them were either interesting as well, especially the monsters in this film. They were all forgettable characters. Some of the characters also had done jack shit throughout the film as well. They are also very boring characters. 6. The visual effects for this movie is very unpleasant. The visual effects for this movie looked like that it comes from a very poorly made video game, or the monsters looks like plastic puppet animation, and really atrocious to even look at. That's how hideous the visual effects is for this movie. 7. The beginning of the movie is also very mundane, and boring. 8. I find this to be one of Hugh Jackman's worst performance, along with Penn from 2015. And, it's really depressing to see him waste his talent with this godforsaken movie, because he's an amazing actor. He was splendiferous at P.T. Barnum in The Greatest Showman, and he was wicked awesome in the X-Men films, but in here, I'm sorry, but he was terrible in this movie. Same goes with Penn from 2015. In here, he felt like that he was unenthusiastic being in this movie, or he was forced to be in this film. But at least he had redeemed his career with The Greatest Showman, and Logan, and a few other films that he was in. 9. I find the editing for this movie to be an absolute mess. I mean, who was responsible for the editing for this movie? It looks really terrible. They could have at least put a little effort with the editing, rather than to make it really crummy. That is just downright messed up. And finally, 10, I find this movie to be one of the worst movie of 2004. And, so, for my final rating for Van Helsing, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 7. What a terrible film. So, anyways, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching folks. Don't forget to comment, like this video, subscribe to me, and also, turn on notifications. This is me, signing off, and I'll see you guys next time.